No. Next up,
maybe the Broccoli Cul-de-sac Club will take them.
They probably would. Next up, we had Harlem Heat defeating WCW Tag Champions Canyon and Bam Bam Bigelow, who were two of the three that were known as the Jersey Triad, along with DDP. I liked that group. It didn't last long enough. We had the Revolution, Saturn, Shane Douglas, and Dean Malenko, which, by the way, WWE did not copy when they brought the Radicals in, which was Saturn, Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit, and Eddie Guerrero. Just going to point that out. Revolution Radicals was completely different.
Very different.
They defeated the West Texas Rednecks, consisted of Barry Windham, Kurt Hennig, and Bobby Duncombe Jr. Buff Bagwell beat the Cat Ernest Miller. Chris Benoit defeated DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, in a no disqualification match to keep his United States Championship.
God, I bet DDP wish he had invented yoga sooner.
Right. Sid Vicious defeated Sting. Goldberg defeated Rick Steiner. Randy Savage defeated Dennis Rodman, who, by the way, wasn't even scheduled for the show, if I remember right, unless this is a different one, but he just happened to be at Sturgis, and he was like, hey, man, got something for me? And he did it for free.
Nice.
If it wasn't this one, it was another one, but I know that happened at a Road Wild, so I would assume it's this one. And then your main event scene, Hulk Hogan defeat Kevin Nash in a retirement match to retain the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. As a result of the loss, Nash was forced to retire. But this is pro wrestling, and he returned 2 months later.
And many times after that.
2 months is actually quite a long time in pro wrestling for a retirement.
Right, yeah, usually it's an angle, and the next week it's, like, spent.
Yeah.
Like when Vince McMahon died, the ultimate retirement angle.
Yeah, or when Trish Stratus had a loser leaves town, and then the next week she was on TV. And Vince just said, I wanted her back.
I left town. You just came to the town I was in, so I'm here.
Right.
I mean, the winner leaves town too, right? You don't just
They all
stay
have
there.
to leave at some point. They all do at some point.
Well, it's time to get our shit together as we step forward into this week's Shortage Sentinel. Woo!
And it is a short one, folks.
Yes. John Elba of My News 13 is reporting WWE has signed an agreement with Amway Center in Orlando, Florida, to run shows through October 30th. No fans are allowed in the building, meaning WWE will likely not be doing events with a live audience until at least that date. It's already confirmed that Friday's SmackDown is scheduled to be live outside the Performance Center, but the official location was not yet announced. WWE is reportedly pushing for more live programming going forward in an attempt to increase dwindling TV ratings.
Yeah, that'll work.
Also this week, actually just yesterday, and we wouldn't be able to say this if we did the show on time, SmackDown had a TV-14 rating.
Ooh.
Yeah, that hasn't happened in like 10 years. Actually, I think it did happen like once, like 4 years ago. And then it was like right back to the same shit. So we'll see next week if they're going to ride with it. But I guess the TV-14 would go hand in hand with that Raw Underground bullshit that they're trying to push. And so we'll see. But yeah, the NXT brand will not be impacted by the main roster move to the Amway Center. The current plan for the Black and Yellow brand is to remain at the NXT arena on the campus of Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida. That's right, we're leaving you behind in the infected stadium, while all of our real main roster stars get to go to this clean stadium that we're going to infect.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Why? Why do you need a change of scenery? Why does it fucking matter? If there's no fans, why does it matter where you're at? It shouldn't even be in an arena, you know? It's just set a fucking thing, ring up in the middle of a field and just do that. Whatever.
Just go over to Doc Gallows' house. He's got a ring in his backyard.
I'm sure he'd let you. I'm sure.
Why not?
He's a nice guy. Hey, their beer came out this week too. Good Brothers beer.
He's a good brother.
Yes.
And keeping up with the
well, this next one is a bad brother.
Yeah, because keeping up with the trend of there's not much news, so we're scraping the bottom of the barrel for wrestling news. YouTube star Logan Paul took to Twitter on Monday and called out other social media influencers, saying $10,000 to any influencer who can beat me in a wrestling match. Paul, who has talked about being a WWE fan in the past and is a friend of The Rock, did not say if this would be a pro wrestling match or an amateur wrestling bout, but it's possible that he was referring to some sort of amateur contest, as he actually was a wrestler in high school and qualified for the Ohio High School Athletic Association Division I Individual Championships. Woo!
Sounds like a WWE stipulation match.
Right? Logan Paul and his brother Jake Paul also got into boxing last year. Logan competed in his first pro boxing match in November 2019, losing to KSI, who is apparently another internet celebrity I haven't heard of. He lost in the 6th round. Matt Riddle responded to the tweet and wrote, "Bro." ECW original New Jack went viral for his response to the
Which translated to, "I really want nothing to do with this, please don't fight me."
Right? New Jack very eloquently said, "I'll kill this motherfucker."
That's the one I want to see.
WWE's Dio Madden challenged Paul to face Mansoor in Saudi Arabia. The Pope D'Angelo Dinero, who was once an amateur boxer with a record of 98-1, that's pretty damn good, responded to Paul saying, "I'll put 15,000 against your 10,000, wrestling or boxing." AEW's Joey Janela, who recently, quote, left social media, had his representative respond. They wrote, "On behalf of Joey Janela, we accept the challenge." AEW's Big Swole also responded, offering to face Paul in an intergender match. She says, "Sounds like donation money to me. Lego." Swole wasn't the only woman to respond, though, as the former Summer Rae also offered to accept the challenge. She wrote, "Yes, it is I. Hello, sir." And then she tagged Logan Paul. And Ethan Page also threw his name in the hat and wrote, "So, me?" As of this recording, Paul has not responded to any of the pro wrestlers.
He's scared.
Whoop-de-doo.
Maybe New Jack just went to his house after he sent the tweet.
I would love to see that. God, I would love to see that.
Please? Please.
I would pay pay-per-view for that.
We should just have, there should be like a New Jack wrestling organization where we just send people who need to die to face New Jack.
Right? That would be fantastic.
That would be great. And then if anybody kills New Jack, then they're the new guy that everybody has to go and face.
They're the new Jack.
Yes.
And then New Jack is the old Jack.
Old Jack. And if he sits in the corner long enough, he's the dry Jack.
The old dry Jack. We don't like the dry Jack.
No. We tend to stay away from that. Spit on him.
I'm not going to take my chances spitting on New Jack. It's not going to do it.
Even dry Jack might kill you.
Yeah.
He's been dead for 4 years. I wouldn't push it.
He's ashy, but he's pissed.
Oh God.
I want to see New Jack in a zombie movie now.
Yes.
Playing himself, not like a character zombie, just New Jack.
Can New Jack replace Ash and then just not be Ash, just be New Jack?
That would be so badass. And brand new Evil Dead spinoff.
Yes.
New Evil Dead. With New Jack.
New Evil Dead Jack. Oh boy.
Too good.
Too good. I want to see Logan Paul or Jake. I will let them both get their asses beat. I'll put them up against the Lucha Brothers. There you go.
There you go.
They'll
team. Take them out.
Yes.
I can't stand either of them pricks.
Yeah, well, hopefully they'll be going sooner than later as we move into comings and goings. Man, that was not as smooth of a transition as I was hoping for, but it happened. Whew.
It worked.
It was really bad.
It was a bad one, but it got the job done.
We've crossed over.
We're here. There's no going back now.
Only going forward. What?
Whoa. All right.
Whew.
Bukkake, folks.
Hey, we pulled that one together, Fat Mac. In the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, it was reported that Hunter Johnston, a.k.a. Delirious, has returned to the head creative role for Ring of Honor. Marty Scurll is on a hiatus and has no Ring of Honor responsibilities due to the pending Human Resources investigation over the hashtag Speaking Out claims that transpired in June, when Scurll's name was among those called out for sexual assault. Since the investigation started, Johnston has taken over as the main force for formatting, producing, and organizing Ring of Honor television, of which there is none. Or is it back now?
No, they've started doing shows now again.
Okay.
So, in all honesty, if Scurll is guilty of what he did, then fuck him, and he doesn't deserve any of this. But if he's not, and before we heard all of this, it's like just really sad that he got like 1 or 2 weeks to actually put TV together before COVID struck, and now he's on the outs, and it's like, well, we didn't really get to see what he could do.
Might as well not even put producer on his resume.
Might as well not.
He's going to AEW now.
Delirious was head booker for a decade or so, as well as head trainer. So he's got a good track record. I like his stuff. ROH is in good hands with him, but I was interested to see what Scurll was going to do. ROH needed a shake-up, and Scurll could have possibly did that. Somebody who's always willing to shake things up, though, Brian Pillman Jr., he recently talked about how MLW feels about him working with other promotions on the Wrestling Inc. Daily Podcast, saying, OVW has never been restricted to me, and neither has AEW. I haven't heard from MLW in a while. I used to talk to them all the time, but they don't answer my phone, revealed Pillman. I'm sure they're cool and there's no hard feelings. I guess everything that's been said has been said, and they told me I'm free to chase opportunities outside. I think my contract restricts WWE and NXT, and that's it. They know that I know what I'm not allowed to do, and sooner or later I'm sure they will try to come to an agreement where MLW can release me, he says. As far as I'm concerned, there's not any guarantee on any shows happening. I understand it's a pandemic and it's just business. There's no hard feelings, and I absolutely love the company, and wrestling has been nothing but good to me my whole career.
For the record, I just want to say I haven't heard from MLW in quite some time, too, and I'm pretty sad about it.
They haven't returned any of my phone calls.
They built me up. They offered me a ring, and then they just disappeared.
It's sad. It's interesting that he says that he's sure they'll come to an agreement where they can release me. He doesn't say like an agreement or an agreement to work on stuff. Like, it sounds like he's looking to be released.
I think that's fine. Pillman's great in MLW, but also I feel like he definitely has transcended a little bit in the last year and a half or so.
Yeah, and if we've seen anything from MLW, I mean, I think if he left being a contracted wrestler, they'd welcome him back.
I do like that independent contract or independent promotions are including you can't work for WWE or NXT in their shit, but you can work for anybody else. That's nice. Way to go. WWE does that shit all the time.
Exactly. Got to cover your ass.
And Shimmer star Vanessa Craven announced on social media that she is retiring from pro wrestling. Vanessa Craven made her wrestling debut in 2004. During her career, she held the APW Heavyweight Championship, NCW Women's Championship, NCW Femme Fatales International Championship, PWE Flame Championship, and why these are really these are really out there.
They're women promotions,
Yeah. And the Shimmer Tag Team Championship with Tessa Blanchard. She also wrestled in Japan and Neo Japan Ladies Pro Wrestling and JWP. Vanessa Craven was also in the 2018 Mae Young Classic competition. She lost in the first round by NXT star Lacey Lane.
Vanessa Craven is